There we go. Wait. Let me turn this down just a little. Trying to find a right balance. That should be fine. Okay. Slay the princess. I'm actually really glad I was able to finally buy this.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Oh, I can autoplay this. But... I should explain. This is my first time. What else am I forgetting? Yeah, I've also somehow managed to avoid spoilers on, like, everything about this game somehow, despite hearing constant praise about it. So, I'm actually happy to play it, and considering that I get to take a break from 14 for a little bit, that's probably helpful.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
I also have coffee. Oh, these! These are a lot more options than I thought I would get. Huh? The end of the world, what are you talking about? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it? Can't someone else do this? Forget it, I'm not doing this. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Do I get some sort of reward for doing this? Oh, okay. Thanks for telling me what to do. Sweet. I've always wanted to offer monarch. Viva la revolution. Silently continue to the cabin. Killing a princess seems kind of bad, though, doesn't it?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hello. Yes, it still technically is morning, that's why I have coffee. Damn, okay. I was not expecting that. The end of the world, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
But how can a princess locked away in the basement end the world?
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Do you have any evidence that... Do I get some sort of reward for doing this?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
You have to tell me what it is first.
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
This is the start of my journey.
Oh, if only that were the case, but I don't make the rules. I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off. Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
Can you tell me what my prize is going to be for doing a good job?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
I don't believe that. I'll go to the cabin, I'll talk to her, and if she is as bad as you say she is, then maybe I'll slay her, but I'm not committing to anything until I've had a chance to meet her face to face. I'm assuming that all the Explorer ones means that they're not gonna progress the story. Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up?
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation.
Alright.
Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything.
Okay, that's a good line.
Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
The chicken or egg doesn't matter because the chicken is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. That is a really good line. Yes it is. This screen immediately tells me that it's fucking Renpy. Silently continue to the cabin.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Who is that?
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Oh, the icon changed.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Who is that other voice? That is a very clearly, distinctly different voice. There is a third person here in this conversation between all three of us.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero.
What surprise! She knew I was coming down the stairs.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
There are 2 shackles, but she's only connected to one. What happened to the other shackle?
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me. Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat.
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really
Angel
is a
and devil.
monster.
Okay.
Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
My... I'm not going to attempt to, like, assume what happens in the next step, but I will attempt to explain my rationale behind certain decisions. In my mind, I lose nothing from dropping the knife, as long as I stay back here. But if I drop it, then that at least tells her I'm willing to listen.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
You stepped closer
We'll be
than I
fine.
wanted you to be.
I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
You're very dismissive and snooty despite being chained down here.
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
I was hoping you'd tell me.
Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I believe her.
There's
She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
That is true.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
I don't know who you are.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear.
There's such a flippancy.
But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Why are you dismissing yourself?
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust.
You're proving a point.
So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
I don't know
She's
who
wrong.
put you here.
This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
You... You're telling me that things will happen if I don't do a certain thing, but you're not giving me a good reason to believe you. You're just saying this will happen if I don't do this. I don't know. I can't quantify the risk if you're not actually properly telling me what can happen. You're telling me an outcome, but not what my action does to prevent that outcome.
Too long.
Thank you.
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't... well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
Smart. And true.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
Honestly, no.
You know why you're here.
No, I don't. Oh, this is bad. I either kill her, break her out, which is not the de facto obvious good choice, or I imprison her and keep her as my own little belle. A horrible wooden shitty beast cabin. None of these options are good, but I can at least internally justify keeping her locked away for a little bit.
That seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
You're implying
One
that she
way or
can't get...
another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us if you help.
Why did your typography change?
And if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
Is the background in it? I don't like that she doesn't have the other arm chained up. Like, that this specific part just doesn't make sense to me. Like, you have one on your arm, but the other one is there, but it's not. You can't escape, but you need help, but you're threatening me if I can't help you.
Oh, for the love of...
Good. I'm glad you've come to your senses.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
Okay, so...
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
There wasn't anything
Doubtful.
upstairs, though.
Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Exactly. Ow. And if there isn't a key, do you have any ideas besides me cutting you out of here? I was already upstairs, and the only thing that was up there was that knife. And I don't exactly trust turning my back to her just yet.
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
Huh?
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Did you fucking lock me in here?
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
I'm trapped in here unless I do. This isn't even about duty at this point, it's about being pragmatic. I either trust the person who told me to kill someone without giving me a good reason and locked me in the room with them, or I let the potential time bomb help me get out of the room, which would also help her escape as well.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp and you make quick work of it. Before long you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
My icon is bloody.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
What is that monster
Wait,
hand?
this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me. Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it. Stop resisting me. I am trying to get you out of here alive.
You locked me in here.
The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
What do you mean chapter
You're
2?
on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
Fuck!
And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
How do I keep playing loop games without knowing?
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I. Don't forget what he did to us the last time
Who the
around.
fuck are
I
you?
won't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
Okay, so there's 4 of us now. Got it.
And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all of this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me.
Version?
If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
Assumptive
The
reasoning.
absolute irony. Well, that's one way to put it, I guess. You really don't remember what happened last time, do you? You practically forced the princess to kill us. That doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd do, which is
Huh?
honestly all the more reason for you to not buy into whatever self-delusions the three of you are crafting.
I wouldn't do anything bad.
But this is a thought experiment, so I suppose I'll continue to give you the benefit of the doubt. If I did practically force the princess to kill you, it was probably for a good reason. Did you try and free her? Did you say something really mean to me?
If I did
Because
something
if I really
bad,
did what you
I
said
did
I
it for a
did,
good
you probably
reason,
deserved
likely.
it. I'm a professional, after all. Sure you are. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
Are you implying that they did?
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
No, this isn't a loop.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself?
No.
Or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? What a conveniently ambiguous group of things for her to ruin. For all we know, the princess left the cabin and never saw another soul.
But we don't
Oh,
know.
how I wish that were the case, but if the princess weren't a certain, inevitable threat to the world, the four of us wouldn't be here. And yet, here we are. You're talking in circles. No, I'm talking in facts.
All because we moved to another world doesn't mean that what happened to the last one is immediately gone. So if the princess did escape, then there is still the possibility that she did harm people. Let's talk about this princess.
Just be quick about it.
Who locked her in that basement? What is this
People
place?
locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
You're not giving me info! If people locked her away, why couldn't they slay her? Why is this falling on me?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here? Yes, right. We're here because we're special. Look, you're annoyed that you're here. I get it. I'm also annoyed that I'm here. But we're all in this together, and we're dealing with a bit of a ticking clock right now, so please just get to the cabin.
Why are you being cagey? What aren't you telling me?
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult.
It clearly isn't simple.
Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to trust me here.
The only reason she was even able to kill me last time was because I let her, and all she did was slit my throat. How is she supposed to end the world?
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you. You haven't given us an ounce of proof. You do know that, right? What proof could you possibly ask for?
Anything!
Literally anything. Fine. Check your pockets.
The fuck do you mean, check your pockets?
You put your hands in your pockets and pull out an envelope with the words, "The Evidence," written across the front. Within
you find a note in your handwriting. It reads, "The princess will end the world if you don't stop her. This is an immutable truth." That doesn't prove anything. How do we know you didn't just forge our handwriting? I wish I could tell you more, but there are some rules I have to follow for all our sakes. Please just trust that these rules are in place for a reason. I'm on your side.
I don't believe that.
You mean you're on our side as long as we do what you tell us to? Exactly. Because you not doing what I tell you to do means you're putting the world at risk. I think we've got everything out of him we're gonna get. Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
It doesn't need saving from ruin. It's not in ruin yet.
I'm not so sure running away is the best idea. We're not the only person stuck here. What about her?
You want to save her?
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
Don't need to. Oh, I got a lot more options out of this than I thought I would. Okay, fine, you're persistent. I'll go to the cabin and I'll slay the princess. Okay, fine, I'll go to the cabin and I'll talk to the princess. Maybe I'll slay her, maybe I won't. We'll see. Yes, I'm definitely know where I'm going. Nope. The only thing that matters is where I'm not going. The cabin. I am not going to the cabin. I'm actually pretty okay with the world ending. I relish the coming of a new dawn beyond our own. Gonna go walk into the opposite direction now. Quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
Fine. I suppose you just
flipped
quietly
the fucking
continue
image.
down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin.
Fucking trapped.
Convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
Turn around again and leave again.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
You are not explaining how.
But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. But everything is getting fuzzy.
The edges of the screen.
What's going
happening?
on? Where are we? Did we do this? Is this the end of the world? Was there ever even a world to end?
The world around you is unwound, its physical matter replaced by a textured nothingness that is quiet. There is a distant rumbling, the sound of many sounds. Actions press louder, something off comes close. Feelers probe across the fabric of reality. Extremities find your consciousness and wrap themselves around it. You are no longer alone. Resistance. Fire. Fingers crack. Claws across the glass surface of your soul. Frustration. This vessel is full of you. You need something empty or confined inside of. You need something sheltered from you. It's not.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Fuck. Oh, fuck. This is a different type of loop. Ah. Fuck.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Shit.
That's the spirit.
Okay. So it is her existence. It has to be her existence. That is a ticking clock.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The blade.
I will not take the blade.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed. Good. You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had a weapon, but you may still be able to do what needs to be done.
Are you implying that you want me to strangle her?
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes
Your
with the
body language
princess.
is completely different.
There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be of threat to anyone?
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Huh?
Okay. Oh.
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess Princess?
Is that relevant? So is Princess your name?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like.
You really don't want to give me your name.
I'm sorry, I've been down here so long I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
If I'm the first person you've seen in a while, what have you been eating or drinking?
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
Bitch, how are you alive?
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant.
Huh?
Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
don't know anything about you. For all I know, you've been locked up here for a reason.
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason.
So you know?
I don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation, right?
You have all the explanation you need. You should know better than to trust whatever she comes up with.
I was sent here to slay you. You apparently supposed to end the world.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think.
You think?
I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here for so long.
That's... How long has she been locked away?
Wait, you're saying the same thing as you did before,
Did
just
they
with a
tell
different
you
tone.
how I'm supposed to end the world?
What are you going to do if I let you out of here?
The princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
What I do doesn't really matter, right?
No, it does.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why.
You are saying the exact same thing that you said before,
I don't
just
trust
with a
that.
different tone.
And I don't think you do either, or you wouldn't have come down here to talk.
You're saying it softer, but your words are the
She has a
exact
point.
same.
We're talking like this for a reason.
So this shouldn't be about what I'd do if I got out of here, or me saying the right thing to convince you to save me. This is about how messed up this whole situation is. This is my life we're talking about. Do you really think I can even end the world? Why would I even want to? We both know that if there's people we can't trust in this situation, it's whoever locked me down here, and it's whoever sent you here, and those two groups are probably one and the same.
Don't let her turn the tables here. This isn't about trust.
I don't
This
agree
is
with that
about
reasoning.
risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch, no less.
This doesn't add up, and it isn't worth the risk to take your word over the potential fate of the world. I don't even... I won't kill you, but I can't just set you free. It's too risky. What if I stayed for a while and just kept you company? Maybe then everyone could be happy.
That seems like a pretty good compromise.
I don't think I could bear being down here that much longer.
Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
But...
So I'm the only one who liked that idea.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. It would make it easier for both of us if you'd help. But if you don't, I can promise that you'll regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one. I know you think this is some kind of fair compromise, but it isn't. No one wins here.
How?
It's a chance we'll have to take. We can make this work if we just stay here and keep watch. No one has to die.
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here.
You turn your back to the princess and make your way back to the stairs.
Fine. Turn your back on me. But it won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing.
That's
Either
why
way,
this
she
isn't
dropped the
paying
mask,
out.
didn't she? You can still grab the blade and get back down here.
That's relief. I was afraid I'd already committed to not slaying her. No, we're sticking to the plan and locking her
It'll
away.
be the death of all of us, but fine. We'll do it your way.
That's not touching feeling.
You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade.
Where's the blade?
Okay, we can make this work.
No, where did the blade
You
go?
settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door will hold you very long anyways. And it's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds
How are you banging
terrifying.
the door?
like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't.
I am not going to sleep. So that was just an act, wasn't it? You're not really innocent and harmless. You're not even a princess, you're a monster.
I can be innocent and harmless if I want to be. Teasing me with fresh air and a chance to finally live freely doesn't inspire me to play nice.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
You're paralyzing me?
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd
Gills?
only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time. But we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
The nightmare?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're
How
here to slay
many
her.
times does this game
don't,
branch?
It will be the end of the world.
Okay, no. She's going to kill me again.
Again? People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself.
Why are you downplaying her?
Doesn't
You just
remember
said
what
she could destroy the
happened then.
world.
Maybe it's best to keep it that way. Shh. What if he hears us?
Where?
That's a very good question, little voice. What if he does hear? Shit. I think you'll find yourselves very hard-pressed to keep any secrets from me. Not that it matters right now, because like I said, this is the first time we've met. Still, I'd rather not get off on the wrong foot. We've a world to save, after all.
Fine.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. I don't think lying and cheating is a thing. She was very direct with us last time. Or at least she was direct with us after we decided to lock her away. It doesn't matter. Don't trust anyone.
I am now. This is the second time that I'm at chapter 2.
The interior of the cabin is plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless.
What
The
the
only
fuck is
furniture
going
of note is a lone table,
What are-
knocked on its side in the corner of the room.
There's faces in the
A
windows.
pristine blade stands between you and the open, inviting basement
Why
doorway.
is there a mirror now?
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Why is there no door? Why is the table knocked over?
What happened to the door? There was a door here last time. It's just an empty frame. She's already got an out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her eyes on us? I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has not already gotten out. But if you keep getting stuck in your head like this, you're going to struggle to get the job done. So deep breath in, deep breath out. Your task awaits, and only you can do it.
Wait, that's a mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the empty basement door frame. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
Huh?
What
do
are
you
you
mean a
talking
wall?
about? This isn't
It's
a
a
wall.
mirror.
It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
Huh?
Did he make it go away? Clearly there was something in there worth investigating if he wants it hidden so bad.
This whole cabin is different than the one I remember.
Very
being.
different. I'm not the only one who sees her in the window, right? She knows that we're here. Calm down. Maybe the three of you just think everything is different because you haven't been here before. Enough of this past life nonsense. You haven't died, you certainly haven't been killed by the princess.
No, I most certainly did.
So focus up. A lot's riding on this.
Take the blade.
You reach down and pick the
Ow.
blade up off the floor. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Yeah.
Good. Steel can't lie to us. Is it gonna be enough, though? Couldn't you have given us something else? Something, I don't know, better than a knife? Could we have a bomb?
Yeah, a knife
The
seems kind
blade
of
is
minor.
the only thing you need to finish your task.
You're more than capable of pulling this off, so long as you don't lose faith in yourself. Those are the words of someone who knows he's sending us to our death.
Yeah.
You cross over the threshold and onto a series of isolated steps suspended in darkness.
More eyes, too. You never mentioned the eyes.
The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static, as if you're descending into a place that isn't meant for a creature of flesh and blood. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her cruel and playful voice prances up the stairs.
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I.
Okay, we need a game plan. Last time we were here, just being close to her was enough to kill us.
How hard is it to throw a knife?
It can't be that hard. But then we'd lose our weapon. We'd have to make it count. Otherwise she'd be furious and we'd be defenseless. If a knife is even enough to do anything against something like her in the first place. It'll be enough.
Step off into the void between the stairs.
You attempt to step off the stairs and into the pitch black surrounding them, but you're stopped by an invisible force. Why did you do that? What did you think would happen?
I was curious. I don't know. Falling into an infinite void seemed better than going downstairs and dying.
How would falling into an infinite void be better than anything? You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you find yourself
What the fuck
between
is
two
this?
loose rows of white wooden planks suspended in nothingness. A smattering of cobblestones visible against the inky black of the basement mark where the floor should be, forming vague pathways. At what seems to be the end of the room, they diverge in opposite directions, left and right. She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide. We're completely exposed. Are you really not going to comment on how weird this place is? No, I'm not. Somebody needs to be the voice of reason here, and it certainly isn't you. Excuse me, I'm being incredibly reasonable. You're the one who's just matter-of-factly describing whatever the hell we're looking at like it's an ordinary basement.
Yeah.
We're going to die down here. I don't want to die again.
Please stop saying that. You're only going to make things worse. Just pick a direction and start moving.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter. Because either way you go, I'm going to find you.
You turn back to the stairs, only to find that they aren't there.
Of course they aren't.
A faintly outlined path lies before you.
There you are. I told you I was going to find you.
As the princess approaches, your legs suddenly go numb. Your arms quickly follow.
You're doing it again!
This is it, isn't it?
And you brought a little knife with you. Cute.
There has to be a way out of this. Think.
What did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
What did I do?
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
Your vision cuts out as your blood begins to coagulate. It's as if every part of your being is coming to a lurching halt. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot back open. Nerves. What are you doing?
What?
I'm working. Do you want this body to function, or do you want... And then experience stops once more as your body reapproaches death.
Wait, paranoia is helping me.
Okay, whatever you were doing, please
Please
just
start doing it again.
You sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want, or do you want to interrupt me some more? You have seconds left.
Yes, I'm sure.
Heart, lungs, liver. Again, your eyes shoot open as you gasp for breath. Liver,
Can't decide what you want to do, can you?
heart, lungs,
Oh well, standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead. Even if you look ridiculous.
She isn't attacking us.
Why?
Why? The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill intent. Don't lose sight of your mission.
No, she hasn't.
Your weapon is still in your hands. Strike at her and end this before it's too late.
There's a reason why you're not killing me.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, 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 heart.
What happened after you killed me last time?
I tried to leave while you suffocated, but that stupid cabin wouldn't let me. So I started to drag your body out with me and then... Well,
I
you died
suffocated?
before I could get to the door. And then I was here, and now you're here too. I don't think I can move without you, and dead doesn't count. And as much as I love what we have going on, I have bigger plans than tormenting one poor little creature forever. I want to leave.
We're bound here. You literally can't kill me because you can't leave.
Because I don't want to. And even if I did, I don't have to. Look at the way you're struggling to stay alive. It's taking everything you have to keep your heart pumping right now. And I'm enjoying the show.
The princess leans forward, bringing her masked lips close to your ear.
If I want to see you gone, all I need to do is break your concentration.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. She slowly runs her velvet glove across the base of your neck. It feels like static. And then... Shit, make her stop.
Hey, snap out of it.
Okay, deep breath, we're fine. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart. You're back. Lungs, liver, nerves, heart.
One moment, and then you're gone.
Heart,
Just
liver,
like
nerves,
that.
heart, lungs, liver,
Ah,
nerves, heart,
and there's the fear.
nerves, heart. She pulls away. Liver, nerves, heart.
But that wouldn't be very fun, now would it?
Heart,
I've already done that.
nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs,
If
liver.
you need me alive, then
Lungs,
why did you threaten me on the stairs? Why didn't you try being nice to me?
nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver.
I am being nice. You're alive, aren't you?
That's the bare minimum.
And you died of fright as soon as you saw me last time. I didn't think keeping you alive was an option. But it looks like that's not a problem anymore. At least not for me.
I died of fright?
You seem miserable.
Lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
No, definitely not. If you're what I need to leave this place, chances are you're pretty useful. I think I'll keep you right by my side. A little good luck charm to make sure I stay free. Don't worry, I'll make sure to take good care of you. I promise.
Nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
Being around you is agony.
Nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
If you want to work together, can you at least turn off this whole organ shutting down situation?
I am what I am. It's not my fault that you can't handle being around me.
Lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart.
We don't have to be enemies. We can work together. We can be friends even.
I'm glad you're seeing things my way.
Nerves, heart, lungs, liver, 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 nerves, heart, lungs.
What?
Liver,
No!
nerves, heart,
I knew you'd come around.
nerves.
Oh, this is going to be so wonderful.
Heart, lungs.
No, I'm not going to let this happen. Before you can utter another word, your body stops moving, and,
Do you think you can just wrest control away from us? This body's barely functioning as it is. Doesn't the world end if we fail to stop her? Won't letting us die here just make it end faster?
shit.
Lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs.
That is a very solid
Flick of the
counterpoint.
princess's wrist. The stairs slide back into place. I can't believe you're making me watch you damn everyone to torment and oblivion.
Lungs, liver, nerves, heart.
Go ahead. I'll be right behind you.
Lungs, liver, nerves.
I don't trust having our back to her. You're not wrong, but maybe you should let me handle the feedback. Just focus on
Focus
keeping
on
us
keeping
alive.
Right. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart.
Besides, I get the feeling she's telling the truth. She needs us alive.
Nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart.
You place a shaky foot on the first step and begin your ascent from the basement. You can feel the static prickling of the princess on your neck, your limbs buzzing with pins and needles, an uncomfortable and constant reminder that you exist, and that your existence is so very precarious.
You're almost there.
The only thing left between you and the cabin is the now shut door to the basement. It would be a real shame if it had locked behind you.
You did it again, didn't you? There wasn't even a door before!
There wasn't even a door when we first got here. The door was from last time. I told you we shouldn't trust him.
I know he's messing with us, but you can't lose your cool. We need you right now. Remember?
Yes, I remember. Of course I remember. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. This is so frustrating. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
Thank you. And you? You'd really rather us die down here than let her out? Of course I would. As much as I want you to have a happy ending, the fate of the world is a little more important, and you still have a weapon. You can still make this right.
Right by your definitions.
You haven't even tried it. It'll open. You just have to give it a tug.
Lungs, liver, nerves,
You pull against the door. The lock gently clicks open in response to your effort, and the door creaks on its hinges. This isn't right. That's not even the way it's supposed to swing. It's supposed to swing
Out. Why did it swing in?
You're not nearly as powerful as you'd have us think, are you?
heart, lungs, liver,
Anyways, like he said, you're not really in control here, are you? I never said I was. If I was in control here, why would I need you to slay her?
You locked me down here!
Secret reasons?
liver.
The door is open. What are you dawdling for? It's time for us to go. The world is waiting.
Shit. The princess moves past you and into the cabin. This is it. This is your final moment to make things right. Kill her. I thought you wanted us to slay her.
Slay her.
It's the same thing. Do it. Do it now. Do it now, or everything is over.
Okay, what do we do?
I said, what do we do?
Oh, do you want to hear from me now?
Yes. Well, I thought you needed me to run the autonomic nervous system.
We do, but this is important. Look, I'll even do it myself. Just tell us who to trust. Brain? Heart. Right, heart.
Heart.
Lungs. Lungs.
Liver.
Liver. Nerves. Okay, thanks. I got it. Heart. Lungs. Liver.
You're terrible at this.
I know, I'm doing my best.
Yes, it's very hard to stay focused on running things when other people are talking to you, isn't it?
Neither of you are forklift certified.
What are you doing?
Heart. Lungs. Liver.
Finally, I can talk. Now, what were you asking me? Running everything kind of feels like popping in and out of consciousness. It's easy to lose track of things.
Heart. Lungs.
They were asking you for your blessing to trust me.
No.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Fuck this guy. Trust him. So you'd have them trust her? Oh, of course not. Can't trust anybody here but ourselves, but I guess that leaves us back where we started, doesn't it?
Yep.
I suppose if I had to make a choice, I'd pick the one that doesn't make our organs shut down.
Thank you for your gracious show of support.
But that's a marginal preference. I'll have to deal with him later. I'd just rather deal with him while our organs are intact.
Whatever. You heard what he had to say, so whether you trust me or not, killing her is still the best, nay, the only option you have worth taking.
Says you.
All right, I'm done. You can let me take over again.
Finally, that was awful. I really don't know how you do it.
Heart, lungs, liver.
You've been standing there staring blankly for a while now. And I have to say my patience is running a little thin. So don't make a lady wait any longer, okay?
I'm having a few issues here.
Open the door.
Liver, nerves. The doorknob twists in your hand, revealing the forested path beyond the cabin. Liver, you bastard. Heart. You've actually done it. You've actually doomed nerves.
His voice is fading.
It's so beautiful. I can't wait to ruin it.
Lungs,
But it's so cold, too.
nerves, heart,
It's itching against my skin.
liver, nerves, heart,
The princess exhausted slumps to the ground.
nerves,
What?
Why is it so cold?
lungs, liver, nerves, heart,
You don't have an opportunity to respond. Something has taken her away, and it's left something else in her stead.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
There's something dreadful about it.
I don't think you should.
It's calling us.
And not in a good way. It is. Does that mean the world ended?
Yeah, no voice needling us anymore. Feels good, but I also feel itchy, cold.
Cold. I don't know where she went, and I don't know how we even go about looking for her.
You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing. I should feel better with her gone. But I don't. I'm begging you, don't do this.
Why? The mirror never scared you before.
It's different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
What do you mean, final? You approach the mirror. Silences, you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. You are alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. This is the vague outline of the... You are at the cabin. You recognize the presence inhabiting the shell. It is the entity that dwells in the spaces between.
Something returns to the long quiet. It has surrendered its path of annihilation and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
The gift of a fragile vessel?
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is filled with sadness, a doll abandoned to the company of her darkest impulses. She desires only companionship, but the only thing she knows is how to hurt. She will make for a tender heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally found her way home.
You're that thing I met in the space outside of the woods, aren't you? I thought that was a dream.
Vague recollections, empty tunnels without a mouth. I am sorry if I frightened you.
What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
Solitary lights? What do you mean?
Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent network. I wish to be more.
A consciousness without a body. What do you think I am?
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
Are you what sent me to slay the princess? Are you what trapped me here?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
Is this the end of the world?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Fair.
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
Do you know about the worlds beyond this place?
I know only that they are.
Are you the princess?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
But were you always the princess, or are you just making her part of yourself?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
What happens now?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to.
This vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her able to.
bring me more perspectives so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Aren't you scared that I'll find a way to kill you?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
How much will I forget?
Everything, until we meet again.
How many more pieces of you do I have to find?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
I was sent to slay the princess, to stop her from destroying the world. If I help you, is that what you're going to do?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
You're being semantic. What are you going to do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
And what if I don't let you do this to me?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow.
Make me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Everything goes dark and you die. Okay.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
So that's where the
And in the
start is.
basement of that cabin is a princess.
Okay.
You're here
So that's
to
what you
slay
mean.
her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie.
We're not going to go through with this, right?
Ignore him. He doesn't. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely
perspectives.
bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
So it's back to you.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck here. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
So back to the one that was.
There's a heavy
the
chain
first
around
one I
her
went
wrist,
to.
binding her to the far wall of the...
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right?
Probably.
And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate,
I'm not dropping the blade.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Fine then, I guess we're at an impasse.
I guess we are.
for the love of everything, just slay her already. Or drop the blade. Do something.
Are you sure you don't want to talk?
Yeah, I'm sure.
For goodness sake, the two of you can't just stand around like this forever. Eventually, something is going to give, and I highly recommend that you be the one to take the initiative here. The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just...
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face. Unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Not exactly a start.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here. Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day.
I'll be here.
Not like you really have a choice.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. Is someone else here? You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The
Forcefully.
knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain.
What am I?
You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. If she didn't so much as utter a sound.
Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye.
How is she so composed after losing an arm?
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too. As the princess approaches the Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just watch me. Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect.
Stop it. Stop resisting me.
I can't? Oh.
Thank you. You swing your arm towards her throat, the blade singing through the air. But she's ready for it. She grabs your arm, her grip like a stone vice. You drop the blade, pathetically. She lets go, and faster than you can react, rears back and hits you with a bone-shattering haymaker. There's a ringing in your ears. You're fairly certain you can feel bone grinding against bone where she fractured your jaw, but your body isn't allowing you to feel much right now. Adrenaline coursing through your system and numbing your nerves.
That is a mean left haymaker.
You fall to your knees. You're barely able to bring your trembling arms up to defend yourself before she hits you again. Every blow is as punishing as the first. You feel bones shatter with every impact, unknown ruptures blossoming with blood somewhere inside of you.
You poor thing. I'll go ahead and put you out of your misery.
She places a confident heel on your chest and pushes you down to the ground. Her knee falls to your throat, your windpipe crushed beneath a weight you didn't think her slight form could possibly possess.
It can't just end like this, right?
I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
That's really grisly. The what? Wait, I couldn't go back to the other one?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
How many chapter 2
And in the
are
basement
there?
of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
I mean, some part of me was trying to go for the one that I was there before, but how did I get to a different... Why was that option blocked? Also,
A
new
terrible
voice
sense of
didn't
deja vu. No,
speak
you
yet.
don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again.
Voice of the broken.
She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than
I
it has to be
refuse.
if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
This is more than just deja vu. I'm pretty sure that this whole thing literally just happened.
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us.
Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge?
I'm not
Can we be
being a
a-
pessimist. I'm just being realistic.
You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included. I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter. Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible. So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world. Let's not make this harder than it has to be.
Says you. Proceed to the cabin.
If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
The interior
What
of
the
the cabin
fuck?
is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so
Impossible space.
small?
We don't feel small. We are small.
You didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror.
So the
There
mirror
isn't.
keeps showing up in chapter 2.
Who cares if there's a mirror? We're all going to die anyway. And I'm sure that if we looked in there, we'd just see something sad and miserable looking back at us. We don't need any reminders of what we are. It would only make things worse.
You remember?
For the last time, you're not going to die unless you let it happen. And luckily for you, there isn't a mirror, so no one needs to worry about confronting a grisly visage any time in the near future. Though, for what it's worth, if there were a mirror, I'm sure that you wouldn't find anything sad or miserable in it looking back at you. You probably look perfectly normal.
Perfectly normal. Probably?
Do you not know what we look
This is like the third time that me and Voice of the Hero have said like the
He just
exact
doesn't have
same
the heart
line.
to tell us.
I want to look at myself. I want to see how handsome I am.
Please don't. I'd rather the princess kill us again than see how dreadful we are. I care less about what we look like and more about whether we're being lied to. If he's willing to lie about something as innocuous as a mirror, what else is he hiding from us?
I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would it even do?
You are either genuinely trying your absolute damnedest to gaslight us despite the mirror being right there, or you quite literally can't see the mirror. And I'm very more leaning towards the gaslighting.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
You don't want me to
We
see
should
what I
count
actually look
ourselves
like.
lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
But you know what we look like? Broken?
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease.
Incense?
This is actually kind of nice.
It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here,
How many
slaying
voices do
her
you
is
think you
probably
can sack?
doing her a
Probably
favor.
5.
Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Oh.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her.
You are a
Should we be
thrall.
worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago, you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go
down there?
It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
You're being very laissez-faire about that.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond.
Temple?
The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You brought that knife again. even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
As if on command, the blade slips from your grasp.
Huh?
It clatters uselessly to the floor.
Oh no.
But we didn't drop it. We decided to
decided
grip it
to grip it
tighter,
tighter.
remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade.
But that's not what I...
Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Oh...
Kneel. Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs buckle, and your knees hit the floor.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk?
Oh, now you want to talk.
The last time we met, you couldn't even scratch me. And yet here you are again, trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed. What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death? Speak.
The last time we met? I suppose that lends credence to our conversation in the woods. Still, whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
Do you think holding shut your beak is enough to stop me from prying it open? Do you think your skull can save your thoughts from being seen? You're less broken than I thought. Perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters. Pick up that needle.
Do it. It's what she wants.
What, needle?
No objections here.
Huh?
Don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade. As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer.
What are you going to make me... What are you going to try and make me do with it? I'm going to kill you. You're not kidding about this divine hand who's doing this. Is it her? Is it you? No. Pick up the blade.
You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. We were probably going to stand anyway.
Oh, I don't like... I hate you. I hate you so much, all of you. Stop making me do things. I'm going to kneel here forever.
You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To define me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am brilliant radiance. Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
What?
You didn't think she was going to do
listen
that?
to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this. Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her.
Yes, that was your fault. I still can't resist.
Your body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at a time, you move towards the princess.
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy, but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson. Plunge that knife into your lungs.
I'm sorry.
Don't! As you take another step forward, the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease. It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility. Then it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
Now, do it again. Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
Those are just words. You don't have to listen to her.
It's what she wants.
You don't.
Heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you. I'm on it. Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs. The blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and gore beneath you. Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece, at least for now.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next.
What next?
Or you can pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is painted with the bloody impressions of your futility.
You continue to approach the princess, even as the repeated gouges of your blade expose bone and muscle to the open air of the basement. You know, this would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand. My influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things at once. The best I can do right now is to continue to drive you forward. Believe me, this whole ordeal would be so much easier if I didn't have to contend with free will.
Yeah, you're not the only one struggling with that right now.
You're the one making things difficult. You're the one making us hurt. She doesn't want to hurt us. She's just doing what she has to.
Stop.
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at the princess's feet, your chest heaving as your blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat. The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something about your defiant spirit speaks to me. You are different than you were before. Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death. There's a place at my side for you, if you'll have it. Not as an equal, but as something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
I'm okay.
Well, that's demeaning, isn't it? Yes, how thoughtful of her.
It's a mercy. Take it.
I think he's given up whatever say he had at the start of all this. At least one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what it takes to put an end to her. Seize the moment before it's too late.
No.
Yes, though your body trembles, struggling to defend itself in the face of the princess's overwhelming will, you finally manage to break through, darting to her side before she can react. The wind of your freedom rushes through you, and you channel it into a decisive blow, stabbing into the soft flesh of her ankle and severing the tendons in an act of unyielding defiance. She falls to the floor, crashing unceremoniously to her knees. But you don't give her any time to recover. Your heart pounding with determination, you plunge your blade into her chest. As you find your target again and again, she laughs, crude emotion breaking through her once stony composure as your blade cuts her flesh. We can do this, can't we? You always could. The decision to give you this task was not made lightly. You're here for a reason.
It's not too late to pick up the pieces. It's not too late to toss that blade aside and beg for forgiveness.
Between fighting against her and a narrator,
Shut
I
up.
cannot deal with fighting my own voice.
I can't believe you would actually strike me. You heathen! You worm! You defiler! You don't know the consequences of your arrogance!
Before you can strike the final blow, the princess lashes out, knocking you off your feet. There's an unsettling wet pop as your spine breaks, numbness and pain spreading through your body. As you rebound towards the ceiling in a moment of disorientated lightness, she drives her fist into your chest. Your body is crushed as she pulverizes you into the floor, the ground itself breaking from the impact. You lie there, broken, beyond pain, unable to even see what she's done to you. But the princess is succumbing to her own wounds as well. She looks down upon her body in abject horror and disgust.
You made me use my hands. I can feel myself twisting into something new, something dull, something defiled. What have you done to me?
You're monsters and conspirators. I cannot bear to watch this.
The princess has been nothing but cruel to you. You should feel liberated by her fall.
But I don't feel liberated. I feel empty.
Aside from the pain, I feel fine.
Good to know.
She collapses to the floor. Her glassy eyes watch, unblinking, yet somehow still full of anguish and fear, as the two of you perish together.
I suppose we were never gonna get a happy ending here, were we?
Don't let those be your final thoughts. You saved the world. That's worth something.
Is it?
I guess.
Regardless of how you feel about it, it's finally over. Thank you. Everything goes dark, and you die.
That's not good.
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of the path... Okay, what the hell is that?
Oh, this is really not good.
I think he's upset.
Maybe.
What's he got to be upset about? We just killed a god.
Stubborn.
Exactly. You heathens destroyed the most beautiful thing that ever was and ever will be.
You're damn right we did.
The OST
You'll get
drastically changed too.
Can't say I have much sympathy for you. She was bad for us and you almost got us killed. You're being too generous. He did get us killed.
He did.
Alright, enough chatter. Got a thing I'm supposed to do, and if you don't mind, I'd like to do it without any more interruptions.
Okay, great, you're listening. You're on a path onwards, and at the end of that path is a...
If your thing is telling us about the princess, don't waste your breath. We know all about her, and it's hardly a path in the woods at this point, is it?
It's like a fleshy
This is
hell.
just right. Let me cut to the chase. Clearly you've already been.
Yeah, you think?
Can you adjust this just slightly? I do like the track, but I also just want to make sure that I can hear the voices.
Actually, I don't think we have been here. This is all different, isn't it?
Yes, precisely. And if you'd given me 2 seconds to finish my thought, I would have said that. Oh, you're actually letting me talk now. Great. If you've already been here, it means you've seen things you aren't supposed to have seen, and you know things that you aren't supposed to know. This doesn't look like a path in the woods. If reality seems distorted, it's because reality is distorted.
So you knew this could happen? You knew we'd be able to restart like this?
Look, if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return. Whatever happens next, that's it. There won't be any more do-overs. So you'd better take things seriously.
Feels like I'm being pulled in 100 different directions. You'd better all listen to me when it makes time to make a choice. If I don't slay her, if I just stay here or do anything else, and we hit this point of no return, then what happens? No matter what happens next, it seems like our answers are at the cabin. We might as well see this through. If I don't slay her, if I just stay here or do anything else, and we hit this point of no return, then what happens?
Then what happens? Have you even been listening? It's the end is what happens. Yeah, but is there something after the end? How am I supposed to know? The end means finality. It's not like I can just peek on over to the other side and tell you what it's like there, if there even is a there. It doesn't matter because we're going to win. Now that's exactly the sort of mindset I like to see. Don't let yourself be consumed with self-doubt. Don't flirt with oblivion. Just focus on the present and everything will be absolutely fine.
So you say? It feels like I'm being pulled in 100 different directions. You better all listen to me when it comes to make a choice.
So what if I'm speaking my mind? It's not like I've ever really gotten a say in things.
You stabbed me!
What a crock of shit. Yeah, you stabbed us last time. Repeatedly.
4 to
It
5.
didn't even work. It doesn't count.
That's count.
We died. If you didn't submit to her, for all we know, that wouldn't have happened.
It's the punishment you all deserved for not listening to me. To her.
Aside from our sulking friend, I don't think you have much to worry about. You're still the one in charge here, and I don't think that's ever going to change. Second he tries something, I'll put a stop to it.
Thank you. No matter what happens next, it seems like our answers are at the cabin. We might as well see this through.
Good, we're all on the same page. It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll find the princess within, as I'm sure you already know. End her. That's it? No final words of advice? I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard.
If there's still a princess at the cabin, maybe we can salvage things. Maybe if we just grovel and apologize, things can go back to how they were before.
We're not groveling.
Cut it out, will you? We need to be tough right now, and you're making it so much harder than it has to be, so stop whining. The interior of the cabin is a place that feels long forgotten.
There was once an elegance to its construction, carved marble columns holding a high arched
does-
roof, vaulted windows letting in the weak starlight.
Why does the dagger look like that?
But that is how it was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it. A viscous fluid seeps from cracks in the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of
Wait, that's not a
writhing
door, that's
nerves
just a mirror.
and wet clumps of living meat.
Why does the dagger look like that? Like, why is it... That looks like my attempt to draw on it. It just, like, really stands out when everything else looks like...
That's horrible. You did this. The only furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal, a pristine blade perched on its edge.
I would really not
The
consider that
blade is your
pristine.
implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
It's that mirror again, and this time it's blocking the door.
A mirror? There is no mirror. We've done this already. Try to keep up. The repetition is maddening. I don't know what to tell you. There isn't a mirror because I would know if there was a mirror.
It is right there!
You're either seeing things or you're confused on the definitions of door and mirror.
It is
Or you're
blocking the door!
That seems far more likely. What are you trying to say exactly?
He thinks we've lost it. That we're succumbing to madness, that something in us has broken.
It's called
That's an
gaslighting.
unnecessarily melodramatic way to describe a hallucination, but sure. I'm not going to waste time arguing with any of you. It went away after we touched it last time. Let's just do it again. You take the blade from the pedestal. It would be good. Nothing feels better than gripping cold steel. You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. As if you don't see it. You really don't, do you? How strange.
Wait, you really
It
can't
really
see
is
the mirror?
just like last time. Are we really hallucinating? Why here? Why now?
Smash it. Smash it to pieces. It's the only thing keeping us from her.
Don't you want to know what we'll see in there? We won't be able to see anything if we smash it. Nah, I'm with him on this one. Smash it! Let's get violent already! Do whatever you want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time.
To him, we actually are hallucinating.
You reach forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor, its ancient hinges moaning as it reveals the dim path ahead. Why am I not surprised? You step forward into the darkness.
The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose. A high vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your sides. You feel both unprotected and trapped, at once exposed and claustrophobic.
The air is thick, its odour an oppressive violence, the metallic scent of fresh blood twisting with the nauseating embers of charred remains. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour. Her voice, a bellowing rage, roars up the stairs.
Was severing the tendons of my ascension not enough for you? Was it not enough to rend my divine heart? Come, see the horrors you've wrought upon my flesh, and feel my hands set upon your throat.
Okay.
She's so angry with us. Why? Why did you desecrate her? Why couldn't I stop you?
You've got to stop thinking about her like that. It isn't doing anyone any good. She's not some untouchable god. She's an abomination, and we're going to put an end to her once and for all.
Whatever she is now, is our fault. If she's an abomination, then what does that make us?
It doesn't matter what we are. She needs slaying, and we've got the means to do it, so let's get a move on.
If I might interject, you didn't make her into an abomination. She's always been what she is. It's why you're here, and it's why your task is so important. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. The chamber's walls are painted in blood, a deep, sickening red that drips down in clotted streams onto the charred corpses that make up its floor. This place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone. The princess stands in its center, muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you?
There's not so much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh. And then, with a nauseating sound, the skin tears. It plops to the ground, and she pulls her red, glistening arm free from her bindings. She is loose, and she is coming for you.
Let her end it. It's the punishment you all deserve for what you did to her. It's the punishment I deserve for letting it happen.
Screw that. We can win. We've done it before and we'll do it again, only this time we'll make it out the other side. Hell, she's practically done most of the work for us.
I didn't do this.
Time happened. You happened. But none of that matters. We're together again, and I'll have my pound of flesh.
She bounds across the room, her fists ready, her heart set upon your destruction. With a horrifying squelch, you are unwound.
I hope you weren't planning on dying. We're going to make this last forever. Huh. I feel cold. I've never felt cold before.
Wait, why is this happening here? You haven't even left the cabin. True to her word, you do not die by her hand, nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
It's going to be okay. Just trust me. We've been here before and you always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
I don't want to look at us.
I'll see you on the other side. It's going to be okay.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you.
Maybe there'll be a good fight there. Maybe we'll find her again.
A mercy.
You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach for it. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've grown. You find yourself in a long quiet once again. You're at the cabin.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement.
I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Are you the same being as you were before? How much have you changed?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
Everything you say feels like a riddle. Can you give me a straight answer? What does it feel like to change like this?
Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
When this is all done, do you know what you want to do?
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
When I go back, it's as if invisible walls close around me. Why can I not do the same things I've done before?
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
Okay, fair. You have been kinder to me than anyone else I've met. Thank you.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
What do you want me to bring? What do you want me to bring you next time?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. Do not worry. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
So you don't have any preferences on how you'd like to change or grow?
My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory.
I don't want to hurt you, but the more times I go back, the worse I fear things will be.
The vessels are a weave of emotion at odds with themselves, but they are only perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before.
The cracks also tell the story as well.
I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
If I am to be an ocean, you have given me enough to build a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective.
A pond, a lake. The next would be an ocean?
The task of finding my vessels is your burden to carry.
thoughts on this vessel?
This one is desecration. She placed the weight of her agony on you, yet it is she who unwound herself. But there is passion and empathy in her misery. She will make for a burning heart.
The weight of her agony on you.
Do not mourn her. She has finally found peace.
I'm ready to go back.
I await your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Everything goes dark and you die. An unwound vessel.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
Okay. I think I have a much better understanding of what this game actually is now. Oh my god. Okay. I will stop here for now. Not because I want to. But I will stop here for now. And see if I can get another 2 routes the next time I stream this. I am very deeply invested right now. Wow, that's a lot. And okay, what achievements do I have? Because I saw on the store page that there was, what was it? $97 achievements, and I only have 8. Oh, this is insane. Okay, so the first achievement I got, 51% of players have this achievement. Just flat 51. Then the 92.1 for the real Slay Princess starts here. 27.4 for A World of Terror. 92.8 the body. A Terrifying Vessel. 25.8. The Bloat, 84.1. An Unwound Vessel, 33.7. Okay, so I think I do understand the structure a little bit more. That's... wow. I'm gonna need time. I'm gonna need time to, like, kind of stew on this. I want to keep going. I can't just barrel through this because now I'm very deeply interested. But I will likely, I think I just want to kind of like space this out just so I have an excuse to think about it more. So yeah, I'll probably stop here for now, since 2.5 hours is not bad, especially considering that I went like 4 to 5 hours for like a couple of those FF streams, so something a little bit shorter is nicer. Especially so it's not that I'm only playing FF this month. I think there was another game that I bought that I want to... I'm very glad I picked up this game when I saw it on sale. I think there was another game that I also got on that sale that I wanted to stream. Ah! Actually, I could probably stream 2 to 3 of those. Well, I'll think about that later. For right now, that's probably it. Thank you for spending time with me. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. This is going to be very, very... I don't even know how to put words to it. I want to spend more time with this. I'm not even... What? I've only played this for like 2.5 hours and was like, no, I want to keep going. This is already one of my favorite VNs. This has me hook, line, and sinker. So, yeah. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I guess go touch grass since there's still light outside. Johnny!